Sports Tonight is back again. We're broadcasting live from Channels TV Sports Center in Lagos, Nigeria. It's always a delight to have you join us. I'm Austin Okonakwa, and it's still an action-packed world of sports. You doubt it? First, it was Jose Mourinho. Now, Rafa Benitez is out of the way at Real Madrid. Who is next? That's the big question, because we all know that coaches are hired to be fired. Tonight on the show, we'll also touch base with the Super Eagles of Nigeria that gets ready for the 2016 African Nations Championship in Rwanda. Guess what? The Golden Girl, Odunayo Adekuoroye, will be back tomorrow in the country. That's just a little bit of what we'll be talking about tonight on the show. Let's bring you into all of what we'll be doing tonight. You know our feedback mechanisms on Twitter, our channels_sports, and on Facebook, our channels sports. There's so much to talk about tonight, so I want you to get us talking. Even Chelsea fans are talking. They believe that Chelsea are back. Rejuvenated Chelsea. We want to hear from Chelsea fans tonight. Do you think the Blues can go all the way, climb up to number 6, and do the impossible by finishing in the top 4? It's football where anything can happen. That's it right there on Twitter, our channels_sports, and on Facebook, our channels-sports. Just to also let you know that all our top stories can be viewed on our website. It's channelstv.com, and on YouTube/channels, where if you're on the go, you can download the Channels TV app for your Android, iPad, BlackBerry, iOS, or your Windows phones. Just go to m.channelstv.com, download the app, and you'll be part of all we're doing here tonight on the show. Let me quickly bring the guys who will be talking with us tonight on the show, because it is an action-packed world of sports. No time to waste. Racy Pacey. My colleague Yemi Adebayo joins us tonight on the show. Yemi, good to have you here.
It was a pleasure, Austin.
And that man over there, Uchi Wachuku, Happy New Year, bro. Good to have you around.
Happy New Year, Austin. Good to be on the show.
I remember the last time when he was here, he brought fire with it. Yeah, but so let's see what's going to go down tonight. I'll stay with you. We talked so much about Odunayo Adekuoroye. When she was supposed to come, the India guy said, wait a minute. Let's look at you. Let's see what model we can make out of this your experience. I mean, an African girl came here, did all the magic. But the news is that she'll be back in the country tomorrow. We can gain positives from that.
Yeah, they have to let her go because she's a Nigerian. But I'm so happy for her. What we fail to value here, outsiders, are putting so much premium on the young lady because of her exploits, and it shows that she's really, really talented. They've celebrated her. She did well, in the inaugural Indian League, and there's so much. We just hope that when she comes back, we'll be able to tap from her, rich knowledge, what she has experienced, wrestling against top wrestlers all over the world, coming back. And Austin, I want to pray that her morale will not be dampened when she comes back, because you in
trying to compare what you saw out there and what
you know how it is when you go outside the country and you're coming back. Yes, Nigeria is our country, but a lot of things are wrong. I just hope
I get where you're coming from, and it's not funny. We laugh about it. I was speaking to a basketballer. He says, when you go out there, like when you leave your country and go abroad, you're supposed to express culture. He says, no, that when they go, they are wild. It is when you come back here that you start expressing that shock. But what we laugh about is that Yemi Adebayo has spoken so much about Odunayo and her exploits in India. We're even hearing that wrestling is competing with India in terms of with cricket in India. Those are also positives for us to start looking at ways we can develop our own cricket and put it to international standard.
If a Nigerian is responsible for almost single-handedly bringing wrestling at par with cricket, it means we don't even know the extent of what she has been able to do. I think cricket is the number one sport in India, Pakistan, all those areas in Southeast Asia. And so, we kind of emphasize what she has done. And I hope now we're going to begin to see her as a package. I mean, there's a lot that Odunayo now embodies. And I hope, like Oye said, that she will not come back into a system that will ensure she fizzles out. She will not come back into a system that ensures you give your best, but your best doesn't count when it should. That's always the problem, because we're not always lacking for talent. It's just that some of them tend to do their best when they won't get recognition. when their best won't get them the kind of recognition that they need. And I'm hoping other sports too, cricket. I mean, some of those sports, I think some administrators will look at some sports and say, where do we start from?
That's right.
I think that's basically where the problems are. I mean, I heard the good news about cricket this morning, about how we're moving up on the rankings. We could leverage a lot of that. There are a lot of people in Nigeria, a lot of good people in Nigeria who are really interested, who love the sport. And I think one step that will take us to where we're going is if we put those who are genuinely interested in the growth of whatever sport, those who really know the game,
that's right,
genuinely interested, put them there. I mean, they would be able to surmount all the obstacles. There will be problems on the way,
that's right,
but the interest will keep it going when those problems come.
That's right. That's me talking about visionary leadership right there. If you put the right people in place, sport will definitely develop. Let me come to you and talk about one sport that has some good following in this country, but recently we've been struggling. Athletics. The name that comes to mind, just put out athletics. I know what's coming to your mind now. That's what we need to change. The Olympics is in August. This is January. You want to be sure that Nigeria doesn't just go out to the numbers in terms of track and field.
Well, Austin, I have my doubts. This morning I was watching sports. This morning I saw, I watched the athletics coach, and I was scandalized. When the session he said that they teach athletes, national team athletes, how to run. That some of them run in a zigzag manner. When you watch nursery and kindergarten kids
Play football,
run 100 meters, that's how they run. The game masters, they will have to, when they derail, you have to, bring them back to the lanes. So if at this level, at the national team, it's like teaching John Mikel how to trap the ball, how to make a true pass. So if at this level, our national team coach
learning basics,
is still teaching our athletes how to run, not to run in the zigzag, then there's a lot of fundamental issues. We raised that issue last week when we're talking about going to camp late. Yes, he do some reasons that some of the top athletes outside this country
already
have
the
training regime. But what of the athletes in the country? There are no tournaments. So what happens to them? Are we going to rely fully on the foreign-based athletes? And how many of them are even doing so well outside this country?
And if you rely solely on foreign-based athletes, can you really claim the glory? Because a lot of people outside Nigeria, a lot of interest outside Nigeria contributes to those athletes. So what can we, maybe the AFN or Nigeria, what can we really say that we have? And it's conflict. I remember what the new IAAF president, what he said when he just got to office, talked about returning the pride, athletics to its pride of place. He talked about Usain Bolt, that is seen as a symbol. When he mentioned blessing, it's happening everywhere. Where you have one or two. I mean, it doesn't cut across, but you have just one or two athletes that stand out. And when you begin to hear coaches say some national athletes do not know how to run, then you want to start questioning whether it's an issue of not having abundance of talent like we claim to do, or not allowing budding talents get to where they can deliver for Nigeria at the top stage. I mean, a lot of questions that need to be answered. And relying on one or two athletes anywhere is a problem. I remember I was talking to you the other time. We were talking about Jamaica. They can afford to run the 4x100 at the Olympics without Usain Bolt.
That's right.
If Usain Bolt decides,
the Commonwealth Games,
and if Usain Bolt decides to run, it just slots in. They don't have to change their programs without him. And all of those things. The way you can do it is if you ensure that new kids on the block, they get a chance, they get the opportunity, and you model them and put them in the right position. I'm not questioning the AFN. They seem to be doing what they can do. Should be doing, and that's why some people will question: do we really have the talent? It's a question, but because I'm not privy to some of those things that happen behind the scenes. Because if you're saying that the top of the top among your best athletes are running a disorderly manner, it's a lot of questions.
No, I really sincerely I think what is happening is that the way we have structured our sports, we rely so much on tournaments. The cricket president, I also watched the cricket president on sports this morning, talking about Nigeria now in the World 5, and all those things. I think it's good, but you see, we must start from the scratch.
Yeah.
You mentioned a very vital point, the federal government colleges.
Yeah.
My kids are in one of them, and I've asked them, do they play cricket? They told me yes. But the important question is, who trains these kids?
That's right.
Do we have enough coaches?
Is the federation monitoring at that level?
That is the bedrock. If we can get enough, coaches, train them, invest.
Right.
Go around the federal government colleges that have the capacity to turn out these talents and train them. Then we have started. But if we continue to say, okay, go to tournament, we're in division.
Another important thing,
start getting
another important thing as I was speaking just came to my mind: the education system. Is there a connect? If I was playing cricket in primary school, do I still get a chance to do it in secondary school?
Yeah.
If I was one of the best in secondary school,
I get to
is anybody monitoring? Is anybody monitoring me to ensure that when I get to tertiary institution, does what I do in the tertiary institution encourage me to still participate?
That's right.
In the sport?
That's right.
Do I get a chance? All of those things.
I mean, you've done so well. You are at one federal government college, Janiki. You did so well in cricket, and then you go to university. Even Nuga or Nipoga is cricket part of the program.
In countries where
exactly, so you don't have anything.
In countries where sports is big business, some of those budding talents are not even allowed to take some decisions on their own. If I see that you have a potential to become the next Usain Bolt, I'm going to be interested in what you go to study in the university, where you go. Is it going to be conducive for you to do both?
That's right.
It's
whether
a
or
lot
not
of
continuity program that we're not looking at.
I'm beginning to see them as assets.
And I'm beginning to feel what the guys in the studio are saying, because I was part of the show in the morning and I didn't see it from this angle, because I mean then you're just moderating. But let's go back to athletics. Listen to the national coach, Gabriel Okoni, was here in the morning. He said a lot of things, but most importantly, when he's wondering why we're still teaching the basics at this time. Let's listen to it and I'll come back. We'll talk. Don't go anywhere. Stay.
A serious athlete to be training right now. As I'm talking to you now, I just got back from Calabar. I went around the nation trying to see those that are training. Went to Calabar, saw Patience Okon, one of our Olympic prospects. She's already qualified. Like I told you, we have a 400 meters runner. She's, we're looking that she might run 49. That might put her in the medal bracket to get in the finals. We have qualified a lot of these athletes. So I feel any serious athlete should be training right now, not waiting for camp. Camp should be called, of course. We're going to call camp, but they're going to call camp. But people are training. People are